Michael Chiesa, who shares the same management as DDP, thinks that they're trying to do DDP versus Adesanya at UFC 300. If DDP took that fight and lost, that would just be a 3-month title reign for him. Before that, Sean Strickland had a 4-month title reign. The 4 top guys in the division have all been champions. The top 7 guys in the division have all either been champions or fought for the title. The UFC is advising fighters on the 298 card later this month to not use cannabis because the California Commission does test and they could fine you $100 if you're over the limit. One championship on their 166 card on Friday, March 1st in Qatar has added a bantamweight Muay Thai fight. Variety Combat is doing some grappling matches at their events. They're doing this one, Craig Jones versus Phil Rowe, February 23rd in Mexico City. Rowe is coming off a split decision loss to Neil Magny. Arnold Allen and Movsar Evloev still going at it. Arnold thinks he still deserved to win that fight. Rewatch it 10 more times and then maybe they'll raise your hand. It was said respectfully, but the only hand people will remember being raised is this. That victory got Movsar Evloev into the top 5. In the main event of BKFC 57, Austin Trout picks up a unanimous decision over Luis Palomino and he becomes the new BKFC welterweight champion.
Can you give us any details about that meeting with Dana White?
It was more of just a creating an ally, and that's really all I had to say. It was a great meeting. He's a great guy, and he's doing his thing with UFC, and we're going to do our thing with BKFC, and we're going to be the biggest combat sport on the planet.
BKFC doing Knucklemania in LA on April 27th. Earlier that month, they're going to the UK on April 6th. Albert Duraev is out of this fight next week. Replacing him is Ihor Potieria, who's dropping down to middleweight. The reason Reyes was out of this fight is because of a blood clot.
A blood clot smoking out the air.
Manafield replaces him. Joel Alvarez versus Ludovic Klein on March 2nd. Joel Alvarez has 20 wins. All 20 are finishes. 17 of his 20 wins are by submission. Luana Carolina missed weight by 3 pounds. Yulia Stoliarenko said you gotta cut 1 more pound or the fight is off. She did it, so the fight is on. Terrence McKinney and Grant Dawson agree to fight each other. They are both hovering just outside of the rankings in the lightweight division. No animosity between these guys fighting tomorrow. Charles Johnson and Azat Maxim. Spotify reached a new deal with Joe Rogan for $250 million that will allow the show to be distributed on multiple platforms, including YouTube. Alex Volkanovski says lightweight is definitely in the future at some point after his fight with Ilya Topuria. Fedor with Arman Sarukian, who's taking on Charles Oliveira next. The belts for Taylor versus Serrano on April 30th. Today's card is going to be event number 92 at the UFC Apex. Some fighters and fans are tired of events at the UFC Apex, and it sounded like Dana White was going to move away from doing so many shows at the Apex and do more at arenas, but they may have realized it's just so cost effective and easy to do it at the Apex, and they can also sell tickets, and they do sell tickets, and maybe make a lot of money doing so because the prices of some of these are really high. It can be $3,000 per person for one of these packages. Apparently it was an elbow that caused the cut on Fury, which caused the fight with Usyk to be off. Can't help getting injured in sparring, but what can I say? Usyk was in trouble. I'm in fantastic shape. We'll reschedule as soon as I can. Now the entire February 17th card in Riyadh has been canceled after Tyson Fury pulled out of the main event due to a cut. A lot of people spent a lot of money on flights and hotels, so it's an unfortunate situation for a lot of people involved. Phil DeFries and Josh Barnett doing a grappling match at KSW on the 24th of this month. Sadly, this boxer passed away at just the age of 23 due to a brain injury. Bellator will be making an announcement on Monday. Whitaker says, I just don't want to win. I want to hurt Costa. He's going to really want to hurt Costa when he pulls out. He also thinks that he beats Dricus du Plessis 9 times out of 10, but that didn't really feel like a lucky win for Dricus. That felt like a decisive victory. Riz Pharma becomes the official partner of the UFC for erectile dysfunction, so John Jones doesn't have to go to the gas station anymore for dick pills. Poirier is worth every penny he asked for. Never a boring fight with the diamond. Never. Whether he wins or loses, it's a very high chance of a violent finish. 8 times he won Fight of the Night. Some crazy fights in there, including some Fight of the Year contenders like the Hooker fight and the Korean Zombie fight, and the Chandler fight and the Gaethje first fight were also classics. John Anik gets complimented and tells the guy to unfollow until he realizes he's being complimented.
John, he was just trying to...
Fuck, he was just. Everybody's got a goddamn opinion.
Jamal Hill's been going after a lot of people on Twitter. If Bruce Buffer mentions a loss during his introduction to a fight, he may grab the mic. Hill says, got banned on Twitch, so on to the next. He was cleared to do light sparring on Friday, and ironically, he sparred with Sean Strickland, which may be considered the opposite of light sparring, but he was happy to get in that work. Tragically, a fighter out of Khabib's camp, Muhammad Mutayev, was murdered in Dagestan. It was actually caught on video. He was shot 8 times. What are your picks for the fight? Gonna go with a Mavov decision, Moicano submission, Brown decision, Silva KO, Hizriev decision, Radke decision, McCann decision, Maxim decision, Garimbo decision, Lee decision, Stolyarenko submission, Medeiros KO, Peterson KO. Post your picks below.
I fight on ESPN Plus about 6 p.m., okay? Las Vegas time. See you guys.
That's the co-main event. It probably won't go the distance. If Moicano wins, he'll probably win by submission. All 10 of his victories by stoppage are by submission. If Dober wins, it's probably by KO. 14 of his 20 stoppage wins are by KO. Melsik Bagdasaryan is out of this fight next week, so Haider Emil will now take on Fernie Garcia. That's actually his 3rd opponent for this card.
I'm grateful for all the people who've helped me recover since the fight and the fans who've been there with me through the wins and especially through the loss. I'm grateful for you guys. This comeback is going to be next level, and I can't wait to show you guys what I'm working on.
Looks like Magomed Ankalaev and Tom Aspinall are going to train with each other. They could be undisputed champions in their respective divisions, light heavyweight and heavyweight. Aspinall currently is the interim champ at heavyweight. Aspinall doesn't want to wait around for Jones or Stipe, so he wants to take on the winner of Blades versus Almeida, which takes place next month at UFC 299. Aspinall has the shortest average fight time in UFC history, 2 minutes and 10 seconds. In his entire 17-fight MMA career, he has never seen the 3rd round. Jonathan Pierce versus Hussein Askabov on April 27th. That card is headlined by Rose Namajunas versus Amanda Ribas. Ribas is an interesting person from a rankings perspective. She's ranked number 8 in 2 weight classes. She's ranked number 8 in the flyweight division and also ranked number 8 in the strawweight division. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and donate via Super Thanks.